It's the world's greatest podcast, the O Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to hit that bell on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast on any and all platforms. Today, we are giving flowers to another quote-unquote underrated professional wrestler, a person who can do it all and is still not used properly. Hell, still barely used at all. I'm talking about Shelton, the gold standard Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin is a vet now. The man has been in that locker room for years. Took some time off, went and did the, Japan thing, did the indie thing, came back even more jacked and capable, and still gets underutilized. During the Thunderdome era, he formed a faction with the likes of Cedric Alexander, Bobby Lashley, and MVP called the Hurt Business, one of the most sought-after factions to come back for the past 3 years. They dominated Raw. They had all the titles, with Shelton and Cedric holding the tag titles and Bobby Lashley holding the World Heavyweight Championship. And they disbanded for whatever reason, powers that be. I believe Shelton said that, it was above his pay grade, and they're just performers. They split them up, and they never gave them a shot at performing in front of a live crowd, and then proceeded to tease us and them with a reformation. That's a word, right? And only to throw all those hopes away. Again, another higher up decision above their pay grade, and they're just performers. And now, with Bobby Lashley moving on to managing, I suppose, the Street Profits over on SmackDown, Cedric and our VGOG, Shelton Benjamin, are left out in the cold again. And it is a crime against wrestling. It's a crime. Shelton Benjamin is one of the greatest professional wrestlers ever. I dare you to tell me otherwise. You'd be mad to think that he is not one of the greats. Go back and watch any of his old matches with the world's greatest tag team, or his banger with Shawn Michaels. Look, when Shawn Michaels says that you are a future Hall of Famer, you got something. And I know Shawn Michaels is not the be-all, end-all professional wrestler, but that is Mr. WrestleMania. You watch your mouth. If Mr. WrestleMania says a certain wrestler, a.k.a. Shelton Benjamin, is a future Hall of Famer whenever he's ready to hang up the boots, you stand up and you pay attention. Shelton Benjamin has done amazing work in the company. I was listening to his interview with Chris Van Vliet. I really hope I say that guy's name right. I love his show. And Shelton talked about the famous move where he did the springboard across the ring and took a Sweet Chin Music from Shawn Michaels. And the effortlessness of that move and the way he pitched it, he was like, well, someone said, hey, Shelton, can you do a springboard into a super kick? And he said, yeah, very nonchalantly, yeah. And he said, well, where does Shawn need to be for you to do that? And he said, whatever. He's like, you tell me where I need to be and I'll be there. And he's like, I tried it out. I went into the ring and I did the springboard. It was, I didn't really do it to, my full strength. And I ended up on the other side of the ring. Are you kidding me? The man jumped the entire length of the ring to prove that he can do it. And he didn't even use all of his strength. The man is a natural athlete. He trained friggin' Brock Lesnar. He trained Brock Lesnar, y'all. Did you know that? Not only was he his training partner, but he prepared him for professional wrestling. They are legitimate friends. They're legitimate monsters. They were both heavyweights. Can you believe that? Can you imagine Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin as heavyweights in amateur wrestling? Of course you can, because they're both monsters. Go back and go look at Shelton Benjamin right now. The man is in his 40s and he is jacked out of his mind. He does not age and he's living his best life. Can we get some flowers on Shelton? I am so fired up right now. Can we get some flowers? Can we put some respect on Shelton Benjamin's name? The man has never, ever got the opportunity to hold that title. And you know what? I will, in this whole love fest, I will make the concession that yes, maybe Shelton Benjamin hasn't had the persona of a champion, but my God, they've put that belt on such lesser athletes and performers before for no reason. And Shelton, you telling me you couldn't give Shelton one shot to carry that heavyweight gold after you invested so much in Brock Lesnar, who is a shadow of Shelton. He is a shadow of Shelton Benjamin's talent. I guarantee I'm taking it too far. I apologize. Brock Lesnar is the Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. I'm fired up. I love me some Shelton Benjamin. After watching that interview with Chris Van Vliet, I immediately booted up WWE 2K23 and I was like, how can I build a universe mode around Shelton Benjamin? And you can. There's like an option to start a universe mode to follow a certain person. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll do that for O Wrestling, right? I'll boot up a universe mode solely focused on Shelton Benjamin. I'll put him at the bottom of the card, which is where he is now, which is a travesty, a crime. And I will work weekly. I'll put a weekly show up where we follow the career of my Shelton Benjamin from the bottom of the card to the World Heavyweight Championship or the Unified Champion. I want him against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I want him to hit him with the T-bone suplex like 5 times and then take to the skies with a springboard elbow or some crazy nonsense and get that 1, 2, 3 and strap both belts around the waist of the gold standard Shelton Benjamin. I'm ready for it, y'all. Are you not ready for it? Why is Shelton not being used? I follow Shelton on Instagram, and he's been posting that he took the trip to Calgary, right? He took the trip to their Calgary excursion, WWE's Calgary shows right now. And I'm guessing he and Cedric worked some dark matches or something. They had to work something. They put them on the plane. They put them out there. Why not use them? I don't know. I did not see these dark matches. I am assuming that they were worked in the dark. But you don't put that man on TV. And when you do, you have him take pins like he ain't one of the greats. Are you insane, WWE? You do a lot of wild things, but to not put some respect on Shelton Benjamin is I don't know the word. It's insanity. I'm not really upset, but I am upset for Shelton. And again, I'll reference the podcast again. He said, do not feel pity or sadness for me. He gets to travel the world and he gets to take care of his family and he gets to do what he loves. And he's living a charmed life. And I appreciate that. I appreciate his humble outlook. But hey, brother, I will get upset for you. Put that man in the ring every week and strap some gold to that man's waist because he is a jacked, amazing professional wrestler. That's all I have to say about that. What do you think of Shelton Benjamin, and do you want him carrying Roman's titles? Let me know in the comments. Show some respect, put it on his name, and don't you ever forget. Don't you ever.
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.